Can I have everyone's attention? We'd like to start the program now. Thank you. Okay. Good. Good evening and welcome to the 2024 Senior Athletic Awards Ceremony. Tonight we will honor the captains of this year's sports teams, the seniors that participated on varsity athletic teams throughout their years at Wareham High School, and finally we will have 10 major award recipients. A coach will say a few words about the award and the individual receiving the award. We'll start off the night with a few words from the Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Matthew DeAndrea. Doctor, come on up, please.
Thank you, everyone. I'd like to start off by congratulating all of our student athletes that will be recognized this evening. And I would also like to say thank you to our athletic director, Mr. Rodricks, for all his work this year. All of our coaches, thank you to all. Thank you to all of our coaches and the volunteers for making our sports program run. Thank you very much. I would like to briefly share a quote that is attributed to John Wooden, who is the famous UCLA basketball coach who won 10 national championships. The quote has also been attributed to Winston Churchill, so I'm not really sure who said it first, but nevertheless, Wooden once said, "Success is never fatal, failure is never," I'm sorry, I'll try that again. "Success is never final, failure is never fatal, it's courage that counts." Tonight, we will honor our students who have shown the capacity to understand this message. And I urge all of you to maintain that attitude throughout all aspects of your life. I hope your experience in athletics here at Wareham High School has provided you with these lessons along with fond memories that will last a lifetime. Again, congratulations and enjoy the evening.
Thank you. Now I'd like to have Principal Mr. Scott Palladino come up and say a few words.
Parents, guests, and especially our student athletes, it's with immense pleasure that I extend a warm welcome to each of you and everyone gathered here tonight. This occasion marks a special moment where we come together to honor the dedication, hard work, and achievements of our student athletes. Before we delve into tonight's celebrations, I must take a moment to express gratitude to those who work tirelessly, and often this work goes unseen. To Mr. Rodricks, our athletic director, and Ms. Barboza, his secretary, thank you for your unwavering commitment to ensuring the seamless operation of our athletic programs. We are truly indebted to your behind-the-scenes dedication. Additionally, I'd like to extend appreciation to Dr. DeAndrea, our superintendent, for his steadfast support of our athletic program. His advocacy has been instrumental in fostering an environment where our student athletes can thrive. Thank you, Dr. DeAndrea. A special acknowledgement is also due to our devoted members of the Athletic Boosters. Your unwavering support and generosity are the backbone of our athletic community, and tonight's dinner is just a testament to your invaluable contributions. Thank you. To the parents, your support and sacrifices have laid the foundation for your children's success in athletics. From early morning practices to late night games and everything in between, your commitment has not gone unnoticed. Let's have a round of applause for the parents. And to our esteemed coaches, your dedication and passion are the driving force behind our student athletes. Your year-round commitment to nurturing talent and instilling values is truly commendable. Let's hear it for the coaches. High school athletics transcend the confines of the field and court. They serve as a crucible of life's invaluable lessons. The camaraderie forged among teammates and the memories created on these teams will endure long after the final whistle has blown. As an observer, I've had the privilege of witnessing countless moments of sportsmanship and achievement throughout the past year. From league championships to playoff victories, each triumph is a testament to your collective tenacity and skill. Moreover, I'm immensely proud of the selflessness demonstrated by our teams, contributing over 1,000 hours of community service to various initiatives. Your commitment to making a positive impact off the field is truly inspiring. With over 250 students participating in multiple seasons of sports and boasting an impressive collective GPA of an 89.2, our athletic program stands as a beacon of academic and athletic excellence. To our student athletes, you are more than just players on a team. You are role models and leaders within our community. Your dedication, integrity, and sportsmanship serve as guiding lights for the younger generation. In conclusion, I'd like to extend my heartfelt thanks to each and every one of you for your contributions to our athletic community. Your efforts have undoubtedly set the stage for continued success at Wareham High School. So let's revel in tonight's festivities and celebrate the remarkable achievement of our student athletes. Let's have one last round of applause for our student athletes. Thank you, and I know this evening is going to be filled with joy and pride for all of our students and families. Thank you, and let's enjoy the night.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Palladino. This part of the program, we're going to give out the Captain's Awards. I'd like all the captains right now to please stand up. Thank you. All right. First, Cole Burial, soccer. Here. Brooklyn Bindis, tennis. Ava Bajoli, field hockey, indoor track and outdoor track. Peyton Calvin, football. How you doing? Katira Campbell, football chair. Chris Dowd, football. Michael Enos, unified basketball and unified track. Stony Ferry, volleyball. William Halloran, football. Emily Ann Keeley, field hockey. AJ Lopes, basketball and football. Star Lopes, basketball chair. Emily Mancuso, softball. Alton McCain, unified basketball and unified track. Julie McDuffie, tennis and volleyball. Diego Mello, basketball. Madison Nehru, basketball chair and softball. Alexis Pedersen, indoor track, outdoor track, and soccer. Kiera Pierre, basketball. Isabel Rodriguez, football cheer. Malachi Samuels, soccer. Isaac Strawn, baseball. Jace Travers, football. And Michaela Young, volleyball. Okay, that concludes our captains. Can I have a nice round of applause for our captains? Now, next will be the Senior Athletic Awards. If you played a varsity sport between your freshman year and your senior year, you get credit for that, and we try to put all the sports that you played on one plaque. So some kids are 4 or 5 different sports, to be honest with you. Okay, first, he's not here, but I'm going to say Cole Burial, indoor track, outdoor track, soccer and tennis. Yeah, not here. Brooklyn Bindis, indoor track, soccer and tennis. Katira Campbell, basketball chair, football chair, outdoor track. Zach Cologne, baseball. Antoine Crossan, basketball. Chris Dowles, football. Okay. Stony Ferry, tennis, volleyball, and indoor track. Kylie Glover, basketball and soccer. Jordan Hagopian, basketball chair. William Halloran, basketball and football. Marcel Jones, football. Emily Ann Keeley, field hockey, softball, and outdoor track. Taj Lewin Peener, basketball and football. AJ Lopes, basketball, football, and outdoor track. Emily Mancuso, soccer and softball. Julie McDuffie, basketball, basketball chair, tennis, and volleyball. Diego Mello, basketball, outdoor track, and soccer. Okay, Nicholas Moran, unified basketball. A Nakin, indoor track, outdoor track, and soccer. Madison Naru, basketball, cheer, and softball. Hector Nunez Mendez, football. Tate Peterson, swimming. Alexis Patterson, indoor track, outdoor track, and soccer. Brianna Phillips, basketball and volleyball. Kiera Pierre, basketball, tennis, and volleyball. Jaquan Pittman, basketball. And Jerron Pittman, basketball. Aiden Robert, indoor track and outdoor track. Isabel Rodriguez, basketball chair and football chair. Malachi Samuels, football, outdoor track, and soccer. Isaac Strawn, baseball and soccer. Kyle Susko, basketball, outdoor track, and soccer. Chase Travers, basketball and football. I know we've got here. Lillian Vasucci, soccer. Jason White, baseball. And Michaela Young, tennis and volleyball. Okay. Can I have a nice round of applause for all the senior athletes? The next part of our program is the major awards. The coaches vote on them, and these are the 10 special awards we have for athletics. And one of their coaches is going to come up and say a few words about the recipient. The first one is the Unsung Hero Award, and Coach Faniel, come on up, please.
I'm such a people person, so these things are really fun for me. Okay, unsung hero. What is an unsung hero? I asked Siri this morning because I really didn't know exactly what an unsung hero is. But I wanted to make sure I got this speech right, so we asked Siri. The definition of an unsung hero is someone that does great deeds but receives little or no credit for doing so. What are some of these great deeds? Consistency is king. We always knew what we were going to get from Kyle. He showed up every single day to school and practice on time. He showed up every single day with a great attitude. He showed up every single day giving great energy and effort. He was a great teammate every day. You could never tell if Kyle was tired, if he was having a bad day, if things weren't going his way. Kyle was the model of consistency. We knew we can count on him. He always showed up ready to do whatever was asked of him. Selflessness. Kyle had a role on our team. Kyle's role was not very glamorous, but it was very important. Kyle had to guard the other team's biggest, strongest player on a nightly basis. He had to keep that big guy off the board. He had to do all the little things that may not show up on the stat sheet, but are still vital to the team's success. He sprinted the floor. He got back on defense. He communicated on defense. He tipped balls to keep them alive. He dove on the floor for 50-50 balls. He set great screens. All those intangibles matter. They don't necessarily make the newspaper, but they matter. All of them are important. Somebody has to do them. And if you're going to win at a high rate, we could always count on Kyle that he was going to get these things done. Opposing centers would see Kyle's stature and try to take advantage, but they could not measure Kyle's heart determination to get his job done. Kyle never made excuses. He never complained. Instead, he just became a superstar in his role. Leadership. Although not very vocal, Kyle led by example. He represented our basketball team with class and dignity. He was a model citizen in the community and in the classroom. He led our team with an 89 overall grade point average. He's always treated his staff and his peers with the utmost respect. Kyle's had zero disciplinary infractions throughout his 5 years here at Wareham High School. He just does things the right way. Because of all these things that I've previously mentioned, Kyle's earned the nickname Mr. Reliable. I never have to worry about Kyle's grades. I never have to worry about Kyle's behavior. I never have to worry about Kyle being a good teammate. I never have to worry about Kyle showing up. I never have to worry about Kyle's attitude and effort. As a coach who has to worry about a lot of things on a daily basis, having someone so reliable is a blessing. I thank you, Kyle. You made my life easier. You helped your team win. You made me a better coach. And for that, I now change your name from Mr. Reliable to the Standard. The way Kyle went about his business should be the norm for our basketball program. And if we can get everybody to act like Kyle does on a daily basis, our program will be much better for it. You don't have to be the most skilled basketball player in the world to bring to the table all the things that Kyle has brought to our program. You just have to do the right thing to the best of your ability all the time. I will now like to introduce your Unsung Hero Award winner, the Standard, Kyle Susko.
Next award is the Unsung Female Award. Coach Jeff Sweat, come on up, please.
So unlike Coach Fennell, I didn't ask Siri. But I was also not sure what it was. So I just decided I'd make up my own definition. Although my initial inclination was, even though this individual is really good, the unsung hero are Bob and Jenna McDuffie, because they're her parents. So, as I said, I suspect that if you ask every coach in this room, you might get a slightly different definition of what an unsung hero is for a sports team. When I nominated this individual, and by the way, I'm grateful that other coaches thought this individual deserved it as well, because one coach voting does not get an award. I only had a vague idea of what it was, but I just knew that this person was on my team. Why? First, reliability. Perhaps particularly on a tennis team, it simply doesn't function without reliability. It's not in the script, but I had a parent say to me, if someone gets injured, you can just put someone else in there to play. And I said, no, it doesn't work that way. It's probably one of the few sports, probably golf is the same way, but there are no substitutes in tennis. Literally, you get injured, you retire, you shake hands, the match is over, and the point is lost. So in that sense, both mental, physical, emotional, psychological reliability is critically important. An absence almost always causes someone else to be put in a position that is more difficult than the person is used to playing, or breaking up a doubles team, which may not mean a whole lot to some people in this room, but a doubles team, if it doesn't have chemistry, doesn't work. And all the people who play tennis understand exactly what I mean. You're forcing someone to play with an unfamiliar partner if you don't show up. As a freshman and sophomore in 2021 and 22, Julia McDuffie never played a single varsity match. That's because she had great players ahead of her. But she was always there trying to use her athleticism and tremendous hand-eye coordination to make herself a better player and to prepare herself to be a vital member of the varsity in 2023. In 2023, Julie was there for every single varsity match, and she had made herself into a singles player with hard work in the off season. Also, if you don't know the sport, the difference between singles and doubles, Well, doubles players are smarter, but singles players are better athletes. And if you can do both, you're something special. When she was voted co-captain for this season, she continued to make the tennis team her first priority despite having a very busy life as a full-time student at Bridgewater State. And if I couldn't find Julia at any given moment, and that did happen when I needed her, it was only because I hadn't looked at my phone, because a text would always be there to say that she would be a few minutes late. And that's cool, because that's keeping me informed. Second aspect of being an unsung hero. And unlike Coach Fennell, I didn't come up with I just called it the little things. Because frankly, a coach is very much aware of the little things that either happen or don't happen as the season goes on. How much does it mean to have an individual who is always concerned about the team over themselves? Something happened this week, which was a perfect example of Julia saying the team is more important. It means a lot. Even if she doesn't leave her shoes, even if she does leave her shoes and water bottle on the bus after an away match. So she worries about the team but not herself. Or keeping up the important activities that become a part of the team's spirit and helps the team bond and relax before each match. I don't know when it started, but Wareham girls tennis team has the loudest cheer just before a match starts. And if you don't believe it, just come to one of our matches. Always waits for the team to do their thing first. And by the way, sometimes we wait a long time. Sometimes I'm tempted to say, okay, and Julia will say, no, we're waiting. And she knows it, and she's laughing because I'm telling the truth. And is led by someone with great spirit. For 2 years, it was led by Freddie Gakidis, who some of you may remember fondly. I certainly do. Without being asked, Julia took over that role and always makes us feel more ready to win after leading us. Finally, the critical wins. What does that mean in tennis? The MIA's use of power rankings has made not only winning, but the margin of victory, which I don't like, very important. And they've done this since 2022, I believe. This may change starting next year, and I certainly hope it does. But I can tell you that there were many times over the last 2 years when Julia's wins at second and third singles, and by the way, to move from third singles to second singles is an extraordinary achievement. It's another aspect of being an unsung hero. What does that mean, by the way? It means all of a sudden you've gone from playing someone who may be a good player or may not be a good player to the second best player on the team. And remember, she spent the first 2 years not even playing any varsity matches. Last year, we went into the first round of the playoffs with a 14-6 record and ranked 18th in Division 4. We had a first-round match against the higher-ranked team from Sutton. I have no idea. I didn't know where Sutton was, but that's what happens when you're in the playoffs. Every member of that team probably remembers the very exciting 3-set match at second doubles that gave Wareham victory. It was really exciting. As a matter of fact, I have a stick in my tennis bag to prove it. That's an inside joke, which you can ask a tennis player about sometime. Member of the tennis team. No, I didn't use it on my players. The coach, however, also remembers that very tough one-set tiebreaker. Julia, do you remember? One-set tiebreaker win, and then a dominant second-set win to give us the second point. You need 3 points to win a match. To give us the second point of the match at third singles. Without that point, the win at second doubles, however exciting it might have been, would have been unimportant. And it's just part of the reason that Julia McDovey and her parents, deserves to be the 2024 Unsung Female Recipient for Wareham High School Athletics.
Next is the Sportsmanship Award for males, Coach Evan Wilger.
All right. Tonight, I have the privilege of speaking on behalf of a truly remarkable student athlete here at Wareham. This athlete has amassed quite the haul of accolades in his 5 years. They include, this is lengthy, 2 basketball state championships, 4 banners, multiple standard time super team and all-stars awards, and an individual state championship in track and 2 school records in track and field. He exemplifies all the attributes we look for in our student athletes. Whether it was on the court, the field, or the track, he was stellar in everything he touched. What isn't spoken about as much, though, is how he succeeded in his time here with a level of respect and admiration from both his opponents and his own teammates. Never one to be flustered or intimidated, he carried himself with a coolness that very few kids I have seen achieve at the high school level. When in defeat, he was humble, and in victory, he was calm and collected, a true mark of a winner. By definition, sportsmanship is the quality of showing fairness, respect, and generosity toward the opposing team or player and for the sport itself when competing. The part regarding respect for the sport itself is the part that sticks out most for me when talking about this athlete. His work ethic towards making himself the best possible athlete he can be is something that some kids take for granted these days. Whether it was taking extra shots before practice, extra reps on the track, or staying after training to learn more about a new sport, he never changed his mindset to improve every day. It's this type of commitment to greatness that separates the good athletes from the great athletes. Being both a teacher and coach here, I have the privilege of seeing him in 2 different lights. And it's easy to see that the kid we see on the athletic field is the same kid we see within our school walls, a hardworking, dedicated, and caring young man. Just this year, he took on the role of student teacher for my 8th grade and freshman PE class. Seeing him gain the trust of his younger peers and be able to be a role model to them was natural. Whether it was including the less active kids in the game of basketball or making sure each player on his flag football team got the ball, he was always looking to better our class. As any athlete knows, respect is earned, not given, and this athlete has gained the respect of his teammates, peers, teachers, and coaches here in Wareham. It's been an honor to see you succeed in your time here, and I have no doubt that you will continue this level of success in your next phase of life. It's with my pleasure to award the Wareham Athletics Sportsmanship Award to none other than Diego Mello.
Good job. Next is the Female Sportsmanship Award. Coach Mike Fortune, come on up, please. He's our girls' basketball coach, first year.
Thank you. Good evening, everybody. For those that don't know me, my name is Mike Fortune. I'm the head coach of the 15-7 varsity qualifying girls basketball team. Doesn't quite have the same ring as 2-time state champions, but we're working on it. We'll get there. I'd like to congratulate not only all the award winners tonight, but all the student athletes that show up every day balance their academics, athletics, and everything else that life throws at you. I'm honored tonight to be able to speak about Kira Pierre and how she embodies the characteristics of sportsmanship. What is sportsmanship? The definition will tell you that it's the quality of showing fairness, respect, and generosity towards the opposing team or player and for the sport itself when competing. I first met Kira just under a year ago now at a basketball workout that Mr. Elwood was running over the summer. There weren't a lot of girls in attendance, but I was able to meet the ones that were, and I had a great conversation with KP. She was the only senior in attendance that evening, and I wanted to stress to her that this is her senior year. This could possibly be the last time she plays organized basketball. I certainly understood that she, Rihanna, and Carly, what they had all gone through over the last couple of years with all the head coaching changes. I truly wanted them to enjoy their last season. Not only did I want them to enjoy it, but I had a feeling that we were going to be pretty good, and they were a talented enough group that we could be successful. After that evening, more kids started to show up. I knew Kara had spoken to some of her teammates about the importance of this off-season workouts and the opportunity that was in front of us. At that point, I knew Kara had the qualities that I would be looking for in a captain, as well as what I absolutely would need as a brand-new head coach for this team. Some of those qualities are some of the qualities of sportsmanship are listed as showing fairness, respect, generosity toward opposing team and player. I witnessed Kara meet the opposing captains every game and always had a smile and made sure to shake hands with not only the other captains, but thank the referees as well. I've watched her help opposing players up off the floor after being knocked down. I've never witnessed any derogatory language or gestures towards a referee or an opposing player. She always carried herself with class and has always represented our team in a positive light, something that isn't always easy to do in the heat of competition. The second part of the definition is respecting the sport. Kara was always quick to own her own mistakes and never try to deflect blame elsewhere. She wouldn't ask her teammates to do anything that she wouldn't be willing to do herself. She understood that both teams were competing hard to try and help their prospective teams be successful. This change in our team's overall behavior and culture earned us the Max Sportsmanship Award this year. In closing, I'm very happy that Kara was chosen for this award amongst her peers. I'm glad that the Wareham High School faculty saw the same quality traits in Kara that I saw daily while we were in the season. Thank you for allowing me to be your coach, Kara, and the opportunity to get to know you as a person. I can't wait to see all the good things your future hold in store for you. Congratulations on winning this award, Kara Pierre.
Next is the Leadership Award for Males, Coach Chris Gardner.
Good evening. Tonight, I'm presenting the 2024 Leadership Award to a very special male student athlete. I first met this young man during his junior year of high school as he was a student in my sociology class. He, like many other students in the high school, was someone I had repeatedly tried to get out for the outdoor track and field squad. Due to my persistence, he finally came out for the team his junior year, but due to an injury and other unforeseen circumstances, he was unable to complete the season. I was fortunate to have another chance at coaching this young man, but it was not for the track and field team. With 4 games left in their season, I was asked if I could step in and coach the football team once I was done coaching the field hockey team. I jumped at the chance as football is my first love. It's a sport I thoroughly enjoyed playing as a young kid into high school and then in college. It was also the first coaching job I had at the high school when I was first hired in 2007 until my last season on the football staff in 2012. My last field hockey game was on a Thursday, so my first time with the team was on Friday night for their home game against Cape Tech. From the first time I stepped onto the field and for the next 5 weeks, I knew who the leaders of the team were, and this young man stood out in particular. What type of leader is he? As far as his leadership qualities go, his skills are of the leadership by example type. This leadership style allows him to speak to his teammates without saying anything. His action speaks volumes to all of them. Even though he is a lead by example type of person, he has also spoken up when needed to his teammates and to his team as a whole when the situation has presented itself. There are plenty of times he kept his teammates on track and focused during practice and games. He was someone who would always let his feelings be known to me, and he was never shy to let his opinions be known to his teammates in multiple cases. Another aspect to his leadership skills is this young man never expected more from others than he did from himself. He never once expected a teammate to complete a practice with energy and intensity if he could not ask the same of himself. He was also a person who lifted his teammates up when they were down. The football team would not have had the same amount of success without this young man as their leader. It's my privilege to give the 2024 Male Student Leadership Award to a young man who can continue his academic career at, well, he hasn't decided yet, but what I understand, he has it down to 3 great schools, all of which will be lucky to have him, William Halloran.
Next is the Leadership Award females, Allison Collette.
I'm here tonight to announce the female recipient of the Leadership Award. I am proud to give this award to a girl on my volleyball team who I could always count on to lead the team. Being newer to Wareham last year, I had to rely on my upperclassmen to help change the work ethic and attitudes on my team, and I depended on them to help build a good team chemistry. Volleyball is a game of mistakes, and I always say to only worry about what you can control. This player embodied that mentality and really led our team by example. By working as hard as she did, and always by keeping her head up and cheering on her teammates, she pushed those around her to do the same. With this player leading our team, we were able to secure a conference championship this year and also make a decent run in the playoffs. This player not only leads us on the court, but she also leads her school in pretty much everything, as she is DECA president, student council president, senior class president, a member of National Honor Society, Key Club, tennis, and winter track. I am proud of everything that this very deserving recipient has accomplished and know that she has an amazing future at Babson. This year's Senior Leadership Award goes to Stony Ferry.
Thank you. Next is the Arthur Luce Award. This is for dedication, loyalty, and citizenship. Megan Cashton, please come on up.
It's a wussy clap. Thanks for that half-hearted clap. Appreciate it. Tonight, I was asked to speak on behalf of an athlete who I've had the honor of coaching for the past 5 years. She is a scholar athlete that has spent each day committed to her team's goals, her own personal goals, and the goal of supporting her community. The Arthur Luce Award recognizes an athlete's dedication, loyalty, and citizenship to the community of Wareham. The athlete receiving this award tonight has exhibited these qualities in and out of the athletic arena. She has been an active member of the Wareham High School Key Club, which is the oldest and one of the largest service programs for high school students. It is a student-led organization whose goal is to encourage leadership through helping others. Alongside her peers, this athlete performed acts of service in our community, such as cleaning up parks and public areas, collecting clothing, and organizing food drives. Additionally, she is a member of the CYE, the Community Youth Empowerment Group, which is a community-based organization that provides youth with knowledge, skills, and mentorship applicable to life outside of school, collaborating with community leaders and resources to uplift youth and to ensure their future success. Through her work with these two philanthropic organizations, this senior athlete has committed to the betterment of her hometown. Outside of school, she serves as a summer camp counselor at the Wareham Gleason Family YMCA, which is probably one of the hardest jobs you could have, in my opinion. For the past 3 years, she has served as a youth referee for the Wareham Youth Soccer Program, overcoming her innate shyness to provide encouragement and support to instructional level soccer players on a weekly basis during the fall and spring seasons. This athlete has served as a multi-season captain for girls soccer, winter and spring track and field, naturally leading by example in her focus, preparation, and commitment to the team's success. Here are a few examples of her commitment and dedication to her teams in 2024. During her junior soccer season, she had ordered new sock boot cleats right before preseason. What she didn't realize was that it was going to take 10 minutes to get just one foot in her cleat. For about half of that season, she would get out to practice 20 minutes early just to painstakingly squeeze her feet into these apparently unreturnable cleats. It was like the scene of Cinderella trying on the glass slipper, but don't picture Cinderella. Picture one of the evil stepsisters trying to squeeze a size 7 into a size 5 shoe. Thought I forgot. During her senior soccer season, she, along with her friends, some of which are here tonight, decided that trying to get last-minute concert tickets to see SZA on September 30th at the Boston Garden would be such an awesome experience. Well, that was a Saturday night, and we had practice at 9 a.m. the next morning. She was there. There is a picture to prove it, too. I believe it was during a 60-second water break where she chose to just lay down in the middle of the field instead. And Coach Gardner shared with me that for the past few years, this athlete has not only excelled physically in her track and field events, but has also become quite cerebral in her approach to upcoming meets and invitationals. She scouts their opponents' times and distances to calculate what Wareham will need to score to win the meet. She has taken her anxiety and neurosis and developed a superpower, one that is charged by helping her team prepare for their competitions. On behalf of myself, my coaches, and Coach Gardner's coaching staff, we are honored to have been fortunate enough to have coached such a dedicated student athlete, loyal teammate, and charitable young citizen. The 2024 Arthur Luce Award goes to Alexis Pedersen.
Okay. Next, the Joe Caffarella AD Award. Somebody has done the most for Wareham High School athletics. I want Cy Barito to come up and present the award. He's our new football coach.
As a coach, and now my first year in the high school, I've had the privilege of witnessing firsthand the profound impact students have in our school, both on and off the field. Today, I want to take a moment to recognize one student whose dedication, leadership, and passion has truly left a huge mark on our community. He wasn't just a player on a team, he's a role model, a mentor, and a true embodiment of sportsmanship. The commitment to excellence, both in his athletic and academic career, sets a standard for all of us to aspire to. On the field and the court, he leads by example. His tireless work ethic, determination, and positive attitude inspires his teammates to push beyond their limits and strive for greatness. His impact extends far beyond the confines of the playing fields. He's a pillar of our school community, always willing to lend a helping hand, lend a listening ear, and uplifting others. Whether it's volunteering for community service, participating in school events, or simply being a friend to those in need, he embodies the values of compassion, integrity, and empathy that define our school spirit. Just an example, the first thing that comes to mind is Coach Faneuil coached the fourth grade Wareham travel basketball team, and he would be there all week, practicing hard, making sure his teammates are practicing hard, and AJ would stay after practice with Coach Faneuil and make sure that those kids had something to do too. He would coach them up, make sure they were doing everything they needed to do. Also, one of the first things I did when I took the football job, I contacted the Tigers just to get involved in their youth program, and AJ was the first kid to come up to me, and he was adamant he needed to coach. So he wanted to get involved and coach with the kids. So as a first-year coach here at Wareham High, I'm incredibly proud I was able to have him as a member of the athletics, not only as in the athletics, but as a part of the school. His leadership, dedication, and unwavering commitment to excellence served as an inspiration to all of us. They remind us that success is not just measured in wins and losses, but in the impact we have on others and the legacy we leave behind. I'd like to say thank you for all that you do. You've made a lasting impression on our school, and your legacy will continue to inspire future generations. You will continue to be the example of what a student athlete is and should be as you take your next step at Bridgeland Academy this fall. The winner of the Joe Caffarella Award for the biggest impact on Wareham High School is AJ Lopes.
Next, outstanding male athlete, Coach Faneuil.
Where to start? I've been asked about this kid 9,523 times in his 5 years here at Wareham High School. So what can I possibly come up here and say that I haven't already said about him? To help with this process, I broke down the speech into 3 different parts. First off is things everybody should know about AJ. Some things everyone should know about AJ. AJ's had a storybook career here at Wareham High School. You heard the football coach already talk about some of the football stuff. He decided to join the track team the last couple of years and earn some top 10 finishes in the state, doing some amazing stuff there as well. Obviously, I'm going to focus on the basketball side of things, where it's just been a pretty historic what this young man has accomplished. We could sit here all day and sort through all the accolades, but I'm going to try to highlight the important ones for tonight. AJ led his team to back-to-back state championships. It's a team game, and winning is the most important accolade. AJ understood this, and he was willing to sacrifice or do anything to ensure that his team won. AJ is a 1,000-point scorer. Only 12 boys in the history of Wareham basketball can say they've accomplished that feat. He is a South Coast Conference MVP. Last year was our last year in the South Coast Conference, in a conference that we have dominated over decades. It was very important for us to end it the right way. We wanted to end it as champions, and we wanted to end it as a player from our team being the MVP of the league. We were able to do those things. AJ was able to do those things. He was a 3 times Standard Times Player of the Year. I don't think that's ever been done by a player in Wareham, at least not since I've been coaching. I've been coaching here for a while. And we've had some pretty darn good basketball players come through this school. He is the first male recipient of the Dave Cowens Award from Wareham. All the 1,000-point scorers that we've had, all the conference MVPs that we had, all the South Coast Conference champions we've had, and even all the state champions that we've had, we've never had a male recipient of this award. And AJ, deservingly enough, was able to change this and ensure that Wareham won its first Dave Cowens Award. Some things that you may not know about AJ, but I think you should. As I've said, AJ scored over 1,000 points. He's logged over 1,000 miles in a car going to see every team that we can possibly play in the state tournament, leading up to the state tournament. AJ hates losing more than he likes winning. After we lost to Bourne, in a game that AJ had 30 points, 7 assists, 5 rebounds, and 3 steals, it took me until 10:30 to get him out of the locker room to convince him that it wasn't his fault that we lost the game. AJ is a natural-born leader, even before he knew he was. He just has an innate ability to get others around him to do as he does. He just leads by example and doesn't have to say a word. The others just fall in line. They just do as he does. It's pretty incredible to watch. AJ is a people pleaser. He doesn't want to disappoint anybody. It drives him. This one, I know from experience, is actually a gift and a curse. And he will learn you can't please everybody. When you're a leader, you have to make tough decisions in life. Usually some people are happy about your decision, and usually others are upset. It's the nature of the beast. There's no doubt that he will make many decisions in his future. He will make the best decisions that he can make possible, and he's going to disappoint some people, but he's going to learn that that's okay. AJ loves when people doubt him. After his sophomore year, when he shot 27% from three-point line. The narrative was he couldn't shoot. He was not happy about this narrative. That year, he still won the Standard Times Player of the Year. He still was a great player. He still led his team to the Elite Eight, but he was determined to prove people wrong. All he cared about was not shooting 27% from the three-point line. To make a long story short, this year, AJ shot 41% from the three-point line, and if you left him, he made you pay. AJ is a stubborn mule. No story. I just thought you guys should know that. All these awards, all these championships, all these accolades, they didn't happen by accident. It took hard work and dedication. AJ earned everything that he has gotten. He put the work in and made these things happen. Some things that AJ should know, if he doesn't already. I just want you to know how I appreciate everything you gave me over your time here at Wareham High School. Everything you gave the community over your time at Wareham High School. I think I speak for myself, your family, and the whole community when I say We are so very, very proud of you. Proud of all the accomplishments that you have earned, but most of all, proud of the young man that you have become. We wish you the very best going forward. And just know, no matter what the future brings, we will always be behind you, rooting you on. Please give a round of applause to your athlete of the year, AJ Lopes.
And the last award is the Outstanding Female Athlete, Coach Jeff Sweat.
So the first thing I should tell you is that I've been a really lucky coach. And so lucky that until this individual came into my life, I actually could beat all the players that were on my team. And so the first thing I had to recognize was that I had a player who made me feel inadequate. It's not a lovely feeling for a full-grown adult, but I got used to it. I got used to it, and by the way, this is not in the script. I got used to it because the individual is such an extraordinary person as well as being an extraordinary athlete. The second thing before I get to the script is she is, we're still playing, the most neglected star athlete I think Wareham High School has ever had. How can you say that, Coach? Well, when you have an athlete who is so good and has trained so hard and has spent so many hours to be as good as she is, then you actually have a lot of other players who could benefit from your coaching, and you can actually neglect her and feel guilty if you actually have the pleasure of watching her play. It was normal for good tennis players to come to Wareham High School, or even worse, to be at home and have this individual come and play, and for them to think they were pretty good players. And then they played Brooklyn Bindus. And they realized there's a whole nother level that they will probably never achieve. The good news before I finally get to my speech is she always made them feel good after she crushed them on the tennis court. And that is part of being a great athlete. Now, candidly, as I wrote this speech 3 times, and my wife kept saying, "You haven't finished?" I would say, "Well, I'm just editing." Obviously, the award lends itself to statistics. After all, if you're going to be called the best athlete, it's what you did as an athlete to make you special compared to all the other great female athletes that are in this graduating class. And I will get to those statistics, and there are plenty of them. But at first I wanted to say some things about the person that are, in the end, so much more important than the wins and losses. From the moment this no longer shy, but very talented 12-year-old joined the team, yes, I said 12 years old, she actually became 13 in March when the season started, and sometime after the season started, Brooklyn made it clear that she wanted to have fun, which is something I greatly appreciate and tell the team all the time to do, even when they occasionally lose, and would play, practice, and help anybody on the team. Anybody, even if they just started to learn to play tennis, and was the exact opposite of that ballet term called prima donna. We all know what a prima donna is, right? That's the person who's really, really good, but you can't stand to be around them. This was the opposite. And she was joining a team of pretty talented players who believed they could do some damage to the South Coast Conference, do some damage in the South Coast Conference for the first time in many years. This was way back in 2019. Little did they know they would win the first of 3 consecutive South Coast Conference championships, would have been 4 except for COVID, as Brooklyn won the first of 3 Standard Times Player of the Year awards, and I suspect there will be 4 when the season is over and the Standard Time gets around to it. Not too many athletes can say they won 4 Player of the Year awards from the Standard Times. Maybe none, I'm not sure. Maybe Mr. Rodrigues can tell me. And led the team in her very first year to a 17-3 record as a 13-year-old. A tough 3-2 loss to Cohasset ended that season, but Brooklyn remained undefeated as she easily handled the best that Cohasset had to offer. 2020 was lost to COVID, but there is no question that Wareham's dominance in the South Coast would have continued. Brooklyn continued to inspire her teammates to have fun and win at the same time in 2021. As Wareham won another South Coast Conference championship, except this time it was the overall championship. By the way, there are no overall champions anymore in the South Coast Conference. Yes, I know, we're in the Mayflower, but for most of the time during Brooklyn's career, she was in the South Coast. And back in 2021 was the last year that they actually had an overall champion, because then it became gold and blue. So we beat every school in the conference in a shortened pandemic-related schedule. We lost again to Cohasset 3-2 in the team playoffs, but not because Brooklyn didn't keep her undefeated record easily intact. 2022 was a magical year for Wareham girls tennis, but it wouldn't have been if Brooklyn hadn't put the team first, played through pain, and demonstrated that she plays at another level compared to everybody else on the South Coast. A quick anecdote. I got a text from Brooklyn, at least I think it was a text. It was 2 years ago. I suppose it could have been a phone call, but we rarely talk on the telephone. I got a text from Brooklyn early in the afternoon of one of the biggest matches of the season, an away match against our strongest rival that year, which was Fairhaven. "I can't play, coach," were the words that I had never heard from Brooklyn. It's also a frightening thing for a tennis coach in particular to hear, for reasons that I won't get into, but it just wrecks everything, especially when it's your best player. After a visit with the trainer, God bless Steve Cook, he's not here, I don't think, but God bless Steve Cook, Brooklyn decided she could play, but would have to serve. You could call it underhand, underarm. Basically, the service motion is this, right? No, she couldn't do that. She had to do this. And because it was affecting her forehand much more than her backhand, she basically could only hit backhands. Now, if there's anybody in this room who plays tennis, you'll know that most people run around their backhands to hit their forehands. Brooklyn, I'm not sure which she likes best. I think she likes her down the line backhand the best, but she can, yes, she's nodding her head, yes. Even though I tell her that it's not the percentage shot, cross court is the percentage shot, her reaction is, to me when I suggested that once relatively recently, was, I like my backhand down the line and it works, or words to that effect. In any event, so she was stuck playing with no serve and basically just a backhand. Of course, she would also be playing the number 2 player, the second best player in the entire conference this day, where she had no serve and no forehand. We had only beaten Fairhaven 3-2 the first time we played them. That's a long story, but 3-2 is a very close match. And a loss would have potentially meant losing the South Coast Conference Championship. But I know this has to have a happy ending, right? I shouldn't have worried. Because even though the first set, she lost 2 games, which was unusual for Brooklyn, she won the second set 6-love, and we actually won 4-1. So it had a lovely happy ending. But she was also playing one of her best friends. So this is what happens when you get on the tennis court. You put it all aside, you compete, and you let what happens happen. But there is no question that without Brooklyn playing that day, we would have tasted defeat, and the magic of the 2022 season would have been a little less. Wareham went undefeated that season, all the way up to the finals of the Division IV playoffs. And we even beat Cohasset, which we had lost to 2 previous years on the way. And we lost in the finals. It was a magical season. Just in case you're wondering, Brooklyn didn't lose in the finals. Okay? She was the only person on the team who won, and she easily won. And I didn't see almost any of the match, because I told you, she's the most neglected star player you'll probably ever meet. Despite suffering a serious injury less than halfway through last season, Brooklyn led the team to a 15-7 record in 2023, including coming off the bench during the playoffs to help the team win in the first round. Another story about the person and the athletic ability and achievements of Brooklyn is appropriate before I start talking about statistics. Each coach dreams of being able to say, at least I think they dream, I do, each coach dreams that he or she managed to make the whole greater than the sum of the parts. Now, we probably all heard that expression before, but when I think of, I know I'm a tennis player, not a basketball player, but when I think of that concept, I think of the Bob Cousy's, the Magic Johnsons, the Larry Birds, just being on their team. They made sure that everybody on their team had a great game. We all know those types of players. Well, the sad news is that almost all of Brooklyn's accomplishments, basically all of Brooklyn's accomplishments for Wareham High School, she had to be the first singles player. By rule, the best player has to play first singles, and she never got to play doubles, which is, as I said earlier, that's where your intelligence comes in, and it's less athletic and more brain power. Well, even though for many years we were the doormat of the South Coast Conference, Old Rochester has decided it's fun to play Wareham, literally just fun. So after the season, now for 3 years in a row, we have a fun match. Yes, I know all matches should be fun, but this one's really fun because it doesn't count. And the MIA doesn't even know it happens. And we make it really fun because all the players play doubles. So instead of only 7 players playing at once, you have 12 players playing at once, and everybody has a gas. And even better, it's under the lights. We don't have lights. It's not a request, okay? But bottom line is Old Rochester has lights. And I don't think they use them very often, but they now use them for 3 times in a row when they play Wareham just for fun. This year, Brooklyn, and our best doubles player, she's not here, but she will be here next year. Thank goodness she's a junior. Evie Francis, some of you may know her from the volleyball team. She loves volleyball more than tennis, but we won't go into that. Easily beat the best ORR had to offer, and that was a very good team. So what's the significance of this story? Evie came off the tennis court so excited because she felt, and I don't know if Brooklyn knows this, because she felt she had never played better. In other words, playing tennis with Brooklyn as a doubles player, okay, is like playing with Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, etc. Because she has the ability to bring out the best in you, and she cares so much about you having fun and playing well. That's something special. Finally, before I get to the statistics, I want to say something that may surprise you. And it's about sacrifice. High school tennis is not like perhaps any other high school sport, in that if you want to be recognized by colleges or even as a prospect for the professional circuit, you focus on playing in the United States Tennis Association matches and tournaments. There's a whole association designed to take someone from the time they are this tall, get them playing very early before, even sometimes, many times, with shorter rackets, with balls that don't bounce as much, anything to make the game easier so that by the time you get to 10 or 11 or 12, you're playing in real matches. And Brooklyn did this. In fact, I think she started when she was about 8 years old. Is that correct, Brooklyn? 8, she's nodding her head, 8 years old. So if you're serious about tennis, this is what you do. You focus on playing in these tournaments, and you don't think about high school tennis. You don't devote your limited time and energy to helping a high school team win conference and state championships. You just don't do it. Brooklyn wanted something more from her tennis experience than just winning tennis matches. We are very fortunate that being a member and leader of a team mattered to her more than just maximizing her tennis talent. Now, how good was she? Okay, she's going to win 4 Player of the Year awards from the Standard Times. I'm going to give you some statistics that you think can't possibly be true. She had 5 seasons with us, starting when she was 12 years old. She would have had 6 if it wasn't for COVID. During those 5 seasons, her match record, meaning she stepped on the court for Wareham High School 79 times and lost 0. Not making that up, folks. 0. So a tennis match consists of winning best 2 out of 3 sets. Okay? You got to win 6 games, win by 2, then you got to do it again, and if you split, and if one person wins 1 set and the other person wins the other set, you play a 3rd set. Sometimes you play something called a match tiebreaker, but we're not going to go into that because I'll be hooked off the mic before that is finished. How many sets do you think Brooklyn lost over her 26 matches? 0. That's true, we're playing Friday, so that number could change, but don't count on it. How many games do you think she lost? 0. No, she's really, really good, but she's not perfect, right? By the way, there is something called a golden set. A golden set is defined as you don't lose a point. I believe Brooklyn had a golden set once. Am I correct, Brooklyn? Yes. Twice, sorry, twice. Okay. On average, over those 79 sets, 79 matches, excuse me. She lost less than 1 game per match. So, I think it is very safe to say that there has probably never been, nor ever will be, a finer athletic record for any Wareham High School athlete. Please congratulate Brooklyn Bindis and her parents, Scott and Tabitha, as the female athlete for 2024.
Good. Thank you. It was a very nice night as far as all the awards. I just want to thank some people. I'm an athletic director, and I need a lot of help. And the reason I like it here is I usually get a lot of help, all the way down from the superintendent, the principal, to my secretaries, to all sorts of other people. And I really enjoy it here at Wareham. And I just want to thank some people. First, my secretary, Sandy Barboza, who's behind me as far as getting things done. And a lot of these things wouldn't get done if it wasn't for her. I want to thank the Athletic Booster Club that is partly responsible for this whole thing tonight. And that includes Carino DeCanto, Janine Alexander, Jen LaFrancois, Chris Gardner, Marissa Smith, Mary Jane Driscoll, and Jill Johnson. They put a lot of time and effort into helping us with getting money out to the teams that are needed and running something like this. I'd like a round of applause for them, please. And I had some other help tonight from Andrea Cannon, Kim Kavicki, Kayla Murdoch, Becky Amaral, and Delilah Amaral. And it's nice that we have volunteers like that help us get through this stuff, because otherwise it would be hard to do. I want to thank my coaches. They work very hard, and for the pay they get, it's a lot of demanding time. And most of our coaches, if not all our coaches, putting above and beyond what they should be doing as coaches. And it showed. This last season was the best season since I've been here anyway, as far as wins and losses. We will end up with a winning record in wins and losses. We've switched conferences to the Mayflower Conference, which is definitely better for most of our teams. Our boys basketball team is still independent. They're a little too strong for most teams that we play, so they're going to stay independent for a while. But our other teams are in the conference, and we've won 3 championships in volleyball, softball, girls tennis, and very close in a few others. And hopefully next year it'll continue to even get better. But I'm also proud of the fact the way our teams handle themselves. I get more compliments lately from athletic directors, principals, referees, about how our kids handle themselves on the court, on the field or whatever, and that's important. They represent Wareham in a positive manner, and they represent themselves, their families, and the school, and that's what makes me proud as an athletic director. Hopefully you've enjoyed the program today, and want to wish everybody that got up here congratulations on their awards, and thank you for coming.